Hello and welcome to Jokes with Mark Simmons, the podcast where I chat to another comedian about jokes they can't get to work. As always, I'm joined in the podcast studio by the one and only Mr. Danny Wall.
So when Mark arrived today, I said, I tell you what, we'll pre-record that, and that way I don't have to have the humiliation of taking the microphone out and hold it at the speaker. As soon as I said, let's be professional, and I took that, Pete just started laughing.
He started laughing. I started laughing. Then my book fell off my lap.
It's like that's what you have to do on podcasts now because it's fucking expensive, isn't it? Can I swear on this?
And that voice you can hear is Pete Rethinasamy.
Hey,
in the house. He's here. I always find that transition of talking to you, Danny, to getting the guest in, because I feel like you have to get the guest in straight away, because so they can talk. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
So yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're bloody cracking.
If I was any better, I'd be dangerous.
Have you been gigging?
Been gigging, yeah, been gigging. You've been gigging.
Have I been gigging? Let me think. No, it's been a quiet start to the year for me, actually.
January-wise?
Yeah. How about you?
Have a little break from the tour?
No, because I was asking because do you gig together?
We do the tour. So
do the tour together.
Yeah. But when was the last?
We did
got
New
another
Year's
one.
Eve. We did New Year's Eve together, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Feels like a long time ago.
That
now,
wasn't a
doesn't
tour
it?
That's
show.
why I'm asking because it's like when you go back to gigging after having even a week off, it's shit.
Yeah, it's.
In what way?
The nerves are back.
Are they? I don't get that.
The nerves are back. You don't get nerves?
No, I don't get nerves.
He's been doing it 14 years.
It's that
You don't get nerves.
the only time I get nerves, I don't want nerves. Like because you know some people ride off that nervous energy. I'm bad.
Me too, Mark.
So in the early days in competitions, if I was nervous, I'd never perform very well. It's always in the most relaxed state.
100%.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Whereas like Lee Evans, I imagine. I'd never met him, but I imagine that nervous energy is why he's so good because of what
It's
he
not
does.
necessarily like the longer you go, the less nervous you get, does it? Some people certainly, but it just so happens.
No, I sometimes get more. I get more nervous now. I think.
Oh, really?
In the beginning, yeah.
I gigged with. I don't know if I was. Well, I suppose it's okay to say it, but I supported Jack D once.
Ooh.
And he was going off to. That's
You
not
can
why.
say it.
No, that's not. No, that's not the point. I was going to say that he was nervous, and I didn't know whether you're supposed to sort of say it out to people.
I
As being
suppose that's
nervous.
all right.
Well, in terms of outing someone, being nervous is probably
in this landscape.
If it was something else.
fairly mundane. That,
So basically, he hadn't gigged for a while, and he was doing a tour in like Europe or something. So he hadn't been on stage for a while, and I was very surprised at how
Nervous.
Yeah, and it kind of made me feel better because I was quite new then, and it just if really big, great, amazing, and he was, and then he went on. First thing he did, bang, like he was just
Smashed it.
Yeah, literally the best. So
I hate it when that happens.
So, but yeah, I never perform well if I'm really nervous. But I'm pretty. My sports psychology degree comes in, and like I'm quite good. I know how to get myself into that non-nervous state now.
Well,
yeah, you seem pretty chill. I've gigged with you a few times, and I'm like, oh, you're so chilled.
Yeah,
You seem relaxed on
the
stage.
only difference between fear and excitement is breathing. You like that as a saying?
Oh, yeah.
The only difference between fear.
Do you ever lose your breath on stage?
Oh, mate. Oh,
yeah,
mate.
this is
Like,
interesting.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, it happened to me on the
It
tour.
feels like you need a breath, but you're
Danny had this happen. I've never heard of this.
It happens to me at funerals. When I'm
Yeah.
speaking at funerals, I've spoken at 3, and it happened at all 3, where you trying to
hyperventilating.
Is that because the jokes
and
weren't working?
You can't.
Yeah.
It was too soon. And you get that thing. And remember, we did a whole bit in our documentary about the tour in Cambridge, didn't we? Where I went on and it hit me.
What, the nervous thing?
And I just could not catch my breath for a minute. It's horrible.
So, yeah, I feel like
Because also the audience can maybe think you're nervous if you're
struggling for
actively.
breath.
Yeah.
Well, I covered it up, obviously, mate.
But I feel like you know when you're out of breath.
Yeah.
So I'm out of breath, and then I'm trying to go into the next bit, and then I'm like, take a deep breath, but then I feel like I still need breath, so I'm going to breathe again. But there's no more air.
That's
anxiety. It's
isn't it?
anxiety, isn't it? It's
Anxiety,
basically
it's
about
So whenever
panic attack.
when I know I never knew what this was, but I didn't know. I just because I'm quite chilled.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't think I would ever have anxiety, but I had big anxiety. But what I'd find just in what happened with me is if I've got something going on, I'm not anxious, but it's like the week after it hits me,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll just be sitting and I have to do that conscious breathing thing.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. But now I know what that is. I can sort of talk myself out of it.
Yeah, so but you've experienced it.
Yeah,
I've
but never on
experienced
stage.
it.
Never on stage. I've never had that on
experienced
stage.
it, and it fucking doesn't go. It
No.
always comes back at some point. And I've had it where I've almost fainted on stage.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's shit.
Well, make sure you video all your gigs.
No, but like, and I've gone,
That'll go
and I've
viral.
literally gone, whoa, like, and then
Really?
back into the bit.
Is
But
this
when I watch it back,
is this
it's an
midway,
instant.
or is this like as you go on, like the
No,
initial?
it's where I do a bit and they don't laugh, and it's maybe a new bit. So I'm like, oh shit, it's not working.
Imagine, I'd love to see a comedian walk on. First line doesn't work, passes out.
So, and then I've gone, oh, like, because I get dizzy.
Oh,
And
really?
then my
Yeah.
tongue goes tingly. And I know that's a feeling you get before you faint. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to faint. So I'll get close to the floor. So it goes on like that. So I'm like, if I do hit my head, it's only that far off
Bloody
the ground.
hell, this is...
So, but I've watched it
Wow.
back, and it's like, it feels like an eternity.
But of
But
course
when you
it's
watch
not.
it back, it's an instant.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking embarrassing.
And how do you address it in the room when that happened?
they almost are looking at me like,
Is this a bit?
is this a part of the shit bit he's just said?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just move on and I don't address it.
Right.
Yeah. But then one time I grabbed my tongue because it was like, my tongue started going really fucking
I know this
tingly.
isn't funny, but you have
No,
this.
no,
But I'm sitting from the audience point of view, but the comedian just starts grabbing his tongue.
do you know what?
No, that's what it was. It was at the time because I watched it back on the video and I'm like, that is fucking hilarious. But I don't talk about it. I just go,
I'm sitting here
and then I
thinking,
go back into the bit and it's like, what the fuck is
this is Edinburgh show written all over the place.
no.
Yeah.
So-
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Fizzy tongue.
yeah, where have
Tingly
you?
tongue.
So I don't know why we started talking about
Where
that.
have you
but-
held your
Joke
tongue?
one.
Yeah, let's get
Remember?
cracking. Sorry, yeah, we're streamlining. That's the
Is
new
this good
catchphrase.
content?
Is this good content? So, and one. So, first joke you want to chat about?
First
or
joke.
routine, story, whatever.
Routine. What is this that doesn't work?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's anything really. But yeah, the
Do
general.
you know what I was thinking? I was thinking I could cheat and just bring my new stuff and get used
yeah,
to
that-
work it out.
we
for
do that.
me.
Yeah, just, yeah.
You know?
No, we do that as well. If there's something that new stuff that isn't quite flying, yeah, we chat about that.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll do what you asked me for the first one, right? I actually like the joke. People get offended sometimes. Once I
Juicy.
said it once, and
You only tried it once. Or that once
tried it once.
they got weird. Right.
and a woman got weird and shouted, and like she was loving the show. Right? She was loving the show. Then I said this joke. She was like, no,
Is this new material?
this was new. Yeah,
As in a new material show?
gig.
Yeah.
So like other people were on as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then I came on, and then she was laughing at some of the stuff I was saying, my older stuff, and then I went to this bit,
Right.
and she stopped laughing. She goes, "No, that's not going to cut it with me."
She said that.
Yeah, and I thought, "Who the fuck are you, bitch?" But then it was like the way she said
How
it.
did
Was,
she take that?
no, well, I thought that in my head. I didn't say that, but
And then
I
I
remember
passed out.
thinking. I remember thinking, like when she said it, I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
it's weird to hear feedback live."
But that's not just a heckle. That's like a conversation. So she's so like.
Well, we all want to
Yeah.
know what did you say first?
So I was talking. I was talking about James Bond.
Oh,
If
that
James
chest. That's triggering.
Bond was
Yeah.
a female,
Right.
right now.
You wouldn't watch it. Is that
Now,
what you
can
said?
I clarify before anyone gets offended?
Yeah.
Right, I did discuss this joke and come up with this joke with my girlfriend and my girlfriend's mom. Right,
Yeah.
they found it fucking hilarious. Right, and they love comedy, big fans of comedy, and they found it funny. And I was saying how like if James Bond was a woman, like because okay, James Bond has a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Right. So if it was a woman having that much sex as James Bond, because James Bond literally shags everyone, right?
Yeah.
Then she'd get thrush.
Could have been worse.
And
It ain't finished yet.
No,
It ain't finished.
Lost me now.
so it was like no, but so it was like
Actually, scratch that.
but men can get thrush as well, can't they?
Wouldn't know, mate.
So I said this, and then I did this bit where it was like I did an act out. Oh fuck!
You did an act out.
I did an act out of like James Bond going around itching herself in the crowd, like.
I quite like this so
You're
far.
not going to sort this bit out. This bit was dead before it started. You're not going to be able to fix this bit. But it was not. I think she took it as like an attack on women, which it's not. It's just
Right.
It's a fair side by side. I was doing if that was that, then this is what would happen. And I remember I told my girlfriend, and I wouldn't have normally told my girlfriend's mom a joke like that because she's very like clean and prim and proper.
No fresh.
None. And nor does Charlotte, for anyone that she ever listens. But I did find it funny, the thought. So that bit. And basically this girl got like really annoyed. She was American. I cannot believe you said that. And like started having a go. And I'd only done 2 minutes at this point. And it had gone really well up to that point. And it was, and I said, I've never dealt with a situation like that. And I hate offending people. And I hate upsetting people. And I felt like she was a bit upset. So I said, oh, I'm really sorry. Oh, I'm gonna go. And I walked off stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because I felt really bad.
You're very nice, aren't you?
Well, no, but
you are.
Was it
no?
just
But my heart. I didn't do comedy to make people upset.
No, same. Yeah.
So when they get upset, I was a bit like, no, this isn't what I wanted. This.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Had
just
you said more beyond the thrush?
It was literally just thrush.
That the thrush?
No, it was the act out. It was the thrush.
What was the act out?
The
itching.
it was like
shake and not.
no, it was like.
Gee, not
And then I'd go like I'd do an act out, and then I'd go to the corner and just go
like,
and you know.
Could I make an observation on this?
Yeah, I know. I'll make an observation on this.
Who gets priority? But
You can go first.
I was going to
Danny.
say, what you've just described there, this idea of imagine if James Bond was a female, got thrush, and then acting out the thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason for that. Imagine James Bond was a female. If James Bond was real, he would probably have a crotch rock. In which case, all that acting out and the scratching would be the same thing for a man as it was for a woman.
Yeah, because technically,
Well, I've never had that.
Nor I.
But
I
you
can't
have
have
a
as
lot
much
of
sex as James
But
Bond.
I can't imagine James Bond using a condom.
Oh, he doesn't know.
So
No.
So there's definitely something in. Maybe that's the.
But I think that's what it was.
It would be
That's
the same.
what her. She thought it was an attack on maybe women, which it wasn't.
But what you could, I mean, you could change the angle and make it a bit pro kind of, as in bringing up the fact that women, if they sleep with lots of people, they're deemed horrible words, but if men, they're deemed cool, right?
Yeah,
so you could be like, well, it would, if it was a female, like that wouldn't be fair on her. Do you know what I mean? And have a positive sort of spin on it, that she should be able to do it.
Yeah, but do you see how, like, isn't it interesting how if it's always like a group or whatever, if you're seen to be punching down, then it's not okay. If you're punching up, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was a case of, and look, I'm trying to be funny. I'm gonna, and I didn't want to tell this joke because it's kind of a potential for people to be like, oh fuck him, that guy's a prick. Like, you shouldn't say that. But it's kind of like one of those jokes where it was like I learned there and then that you have to be very you can't. It's you're bound to annoy someone if you're saying something like that. But then a few people messaged me in the audience.
Yeah,
because it was kind of a big deal.
So 98% of the audience probably were fine with it.
But
the thing.
exactly,
So
they
you
messaged in support and being like, dude.
And some people are, because thinking of this, sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, what did they say?
They messaged and they were like, dude, look, you were funny. Like, just to let you know, I didn't have a problem with that joke. And this was a woman. She was like, I didn't have a problem with that joke. I found it hilarious. Just to let you know, that woman kicked off at 3 other comedians after you left the stage.
This is the
so
thing.
It was like one of those people that was going to kick off.
My sort of view on this sort of thing is that, you know, you shouldn't just take one person's opinion. Like if that so I do a joke that I think's fine, and then one person in the audience has a problem. I am more than happy to talk about it because I don't do comedy to be edgy.
Yeah,
I do comedy because I want everyone to enjoy it.
Yeah,
but you have to consider some people don't understand comedy.
Yeah,
so they don't so they'll hear a word and they'll just think you can't make a joke about that thing.
Yeah.
But she might not understand where you're the angle.
Yeah.
She just doesn't get comedy.
Exactly.
So I've had different situations where things like that, and I've asked them specifically what is specifically the issue, and quite often they can't answer it because they react off the
how they think they should react.
Yeah, and then they go, oh, actually, I've got nothing to back this up.
Yeah,
because there is, you know,
it's just an observation. I mean,
years I've not had anyone do it on stage. I had someone storm into a dressing room afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and start having a go at me in front of Zoe Lyons, actually.
Oh, really?
And it was actually a family-friendly comedy night. And, so I wasn't looking to cause offence in the slightest. It was a line I've been doing for years, Mark.
Was it fist up the pipe?
No, it wasn't. No. It was about a solar-powered attack alarm. About a solar-powered rape alarm,
Oh,
right?
yes, yeah.
And I
but
was
it's the
solar-powered
word.
rape alarm. I said, the one piece of electrical equipment, it's of effective use, you would not want dependent on it being a nice day outside. But actually, do you know what? I wouldn't do that line now.
Because just because in case
I just think we're a few years forwards in time, and sensibilities have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
And actually now I think, well, actually maybe, I've grown up a little bit since then, and maybe I wouldn't do it.
I'm the same. I'm looking at that joke that I said, but I want to be honest here.
Of course.
I didn't want to come here and give you some crappy stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this bit, and it's like, no, I'm coming here. You're getting the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
you're getting the worst
No,
it's
well
been, and like,
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting for people to listen and be like, oh, so if a comedian says something on stage, they're necessarily not saying it to offend. They're, it's their perspective on. Oh, if that was my perspective on it.
Do you know who I blame?
Who?
Your girlfriend and her mum.
Yeah, no, and I said that. I said, why did you tell me it was bloody a good joke? And the mum was like shocked. The mum was like, really? Someone kicked off?
In my head, I can just hear scratch. And I just think that's a really funny.
No, that's what it was.
If you could play the music,
You know what?
like you do in a show.
Like you said, Danny, you could just make that Bond. You'd be
Just
like,
make that
if
Bond. Can you just make it Bond?
Make it a male
so
James
stupid.
Bond.
Yeah.
It is so stupid. It's so silly. It's so
Yeah,
But
try
that's where I
that.
thought-
Try it as just, James Bond is just not realistic. Because
Yeah.
if someone was
He
having
was
that much sex, he would have crabs or whatever,
Yeah.
and then go,
Yeah.
and then the title scene will be different.
you-
Da-da-da-da-da-da. And do the turn.
Rather than shoot
And get
the
the other,
gun.
you know he has the hand out.
Yeah.
Do that.
And when he gets the gun, then hand
Or
down,
you do
scratch. Yeah, that's it.
Just take the women part out of it.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think take
know.
the input out of it. And
Because that
funny
was like
idea.
felt attacking.
yeah.
When it wasn't
That's-
supposed to be, but I've learned obviously.
But that's an
you
idea.
have to learn in comedy. You have to
But mate,
learn.
the idea initially came with it being a woman. So you try that. Sometimes you do have to. Sometimes with ideas that don't work, you can take a step back and go. Like I've had jokes where it's been about, I don't know, my friend did this thing, and then I've gone back and go, oh, if I make that me, that totally streamlines
Why do you
the
want to
joke.
make your mate look funny? You're the guy on stage trying to be funny.
But because my mate did do that thing, initially, sometimes you're in it so much that you just say what happened.
Jeff's a big proponent of that. Jeff Innocent does he obviously, of course, and he does his workshops, and he says all the time, he's saying to students when they go, oh, my friend did this, he says, well, no, why is it your friend? Take that. You've taken the nugget of truth, aren't you? And you're just bringing it into the first person. Also, by the way, I just think that crabs, for some reason, is far less aggressive than thrush.
Yes.
So
I
crabs.
don't
think
like
thrush
crabs as
could
a
have been the
word,
word.
though.
No, I know, but it's still.
Is there another one that's a bit itchy?
Crotch rot.
That's definitely not.
Crotch, right. But just thrush crabs.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd definitely have crabs. You'd definitely have crabs.
No, literally just say STI, do the act out and scratch. Then you don't need...
I think crabs is funnier than STI.
Okay, crabs, fair
But
enough.
anyway.
What's the next joke?
No, this, I never really haven't thrashed it out properly.
Haven't thrashed it out properly.
Haven't
Thrashed
crabbed it out,
yeah.
possibly.
But it didn't work the only time I've said it, but I like it. So Charlotte is middle
England?
class. Middle of.
That's what I wanted to say. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant. Can we do that again? Let's do that again.
No, Charlotte is kind
That'd
of
be
like
awkward, wouldn't it?
like people wouldn't think I'm going out with Charlotte because I'm like, I don't really take too much pride in my appearance. I'm a bit scruffy. I'm a bit like, I don't know, just chav. Would you say? No, not chav, but like,
I know those trainers cost 135 quid, mate. So
but I've had them for 2 years.
in that case, 100.
And then
he
I try
stole
when I
them
walk in
off
these.
someone.
When I walk in these, because I'm so aware of the price, I try not to bend
Mate,
my
I've
foot.
got a
I
pair of
walk
Nike. I've
flat-footed.
got a pair of Nike Airs that I don't take out of the wardrobe.
Yeah, that's what, I do that.
Yeah, it's got me.
Yeah.
They've gone
I
up to
do that.
135 quid now, and I can't wear them.
Yeah, no,
Are
I
they-
do that. I do that.
Nike-
Straight up.
Stupid. Ornamental
They're-
shoes.
They're now Nike Air in cupboards.
See, this is what you get, mate.
Fucking hell, that's good.
I'm having that.
Basically, she's kind of middle class. Well, not middle class. They're not, but they sound it.
Yes.
But they have a big house. But it's moldy.
Were they at the gig when you tried this? Because that might be why it didn't work.
No. It's
mouldy.
No.
How mouldy?
But they've got a big house, so they've got money and stuff. But it's like, but they don't, if you know what I mean. But they've got the biggest house on the street.
Right.
Everyone wants the house.
Right.
But these people don't know what it looks like inside the house.
Right.
So,
Are you happy to talk about this on stage? Are they okay with that?
Yeah, no, that's not the bit. I'm building up the picture of what Charlotte's family's like. So I'm obviously stepping into this environment of they've got geese. They've got geese,
They've got
right?
geese.
They've got geese. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe we're talking.
Yeah.
They've got geese. So we've just moved in with her parents because we want to save a bit of money, right? So I'm walking up her street. And there's a child having a jumble sale in the front garden, right? But that is so I consider a jumble sale.
Yeah, it's a funny word.
So I'm like, fuck, I want to go buy something.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But Charlotte was like, no, you can't go over that kid. Like, we don't want people in the street thinking, you're
Wanting to buy secondhand stuff.
broke. So broke is the punchline. Because I'm trying to let the audience think I'm going to say pedo.
Okay, so you need to lead them up the path, literally up the path more.
But then it needs to be broke is the punchline. But it didn't get a laugh. They were waiting.
No, I think the setup isn't there. I think the joke is there.
Yeah.
But
Do you think that's a funny joke?
It's an idea, but I don't. You didn't lead us to think you were gonna.
No.
Okay, pedo entered my head.
Did it?
Because it's you.
Yeah.
But no. No, but it entered my head that you might be going that way, but you led more because you're going up banging on about being middle class. They're middle class and you're not. I went to broke first.
Yes.
Oh, you went to broke because of that?
Yeah,
Yes.
because you'd already been talking about that. So
my perspective is: do you not need to lead the audience into thinking they're middle class, so that when she does say that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I get why.
Yeah, but maybe. I don't know. You
get why
you definitely.
Broke. It's a young person.
I don't know how much you say it in the routine, but you in that what you told us then. You said it a lot. So
yeah, I didn't build it up like that on stage.
It was in my head then. But you can't go up to a little kid that little kid in the street. What might people think? Do you know what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah.
There's definitely what's the classic thing that would make you them think that you might be a bit creepy?
I actually, when this happened, I was like thinking, there is cool stuff he's selling, but I'm not going to go over there because that is a bit pedo-y, I think.
Yeah.
His parents were with him.
It's a sad indictment of modern day life that people think that you can't go up to someone who's running a jumble sale who wants custom, and you think I can't go and give them my custom. What were they selling?
He was selling like toys,
wrestling figures.
No, like loads of little cool, and not just toys, like cool stuff. Like he had an 8 ball.
Oh, Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah, like cool little trinkets that you could have on your fireplace or something.
Can I tell you what I think my problem is with it? Is I don't think your girlfriend would worry about you seeming like a pedo. I don't think that would ever enter her head. I think that is something that you yourself think you don't, because it is a conscious thing. You don't want, you're like, oh, I can't go over there because they might think I'm a pedo.
Yeah, I thought the parents might come out and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, because
you would have an argument being like, your kid's trying to sell me something, little shit. Yeah, it's his fault, not mine, for being the pedo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like the other way around. The kid's the one with the sweets.
Yeah. So I think, but how can you get it so that you're worried about them thinking maybe that would still work. I couldn't go over there. Just me and that. Then it's too far the other way.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of, because they might think I'm broke.
Yeah.
Would that work as you being concerned that you don't want? Maybe you're worried about your image in front of the people.
That's
in this area.
right. So maybe I build it up like, I have to keep a clean image on this street because I don't want to be.
Because I don't want to fit. So I dress a bit smarter when I go around there.
I don't want to be the neighbourhood poor person.
No, there's no such thing as a neighbourhood pedo, Tony. That's not a saying.
Neighbourhood poor person.
There is.
Neighbourhood P though.
Wait, that's
no
what-
one calls it that.
I don't necessarily call it.
But I definitely think we could be. I don't think. Yeah. So how many times you tried that?
Once, but it was like, do you know when a joke is not funny? It's not that it's not funny.
You just haven't.
It's that it got 0 laughs.
Yeah.
So they're almost it could
funny.
be completely not funny. But normally when a joke's completely shit, someone will laugh out of like, they'll go, aha.
I think they don't know
But
what
this
you were
got
trying to
nothing.
do. No,
This
'cause
got nothing. So they were waiting.
I don't think they were even thinking pedo.
Really?
I think that's why I got nothing, because essentially that's just a sentence you've said. I don't want them to think you're poor.
So what if I went, he was 7? He was a 7-year-old, like a stress the age.
Yeah, there's no one else around. Maybe say no one else around. And I thought, I can't go up to this 7-year-old.
Because then it's like,
I can't go up to this. They might think I'm broke. I think that's a way.
Do you get what I mean? This one I think is funny.
Always a good start.
This one I actually think, right, it's like, oh, this could be a bit. But the journey.
Can I trouble you to hold the mic slightly higher up? Because can you hear that a little bit?
When I touch the wire.
Yeah.
So this bit, the journey there is kind of, it's an act out, and I don't know, like act out, you really have to go for it and give it, and it just doesn't work at the minute. But the joke is, how does it start? So my friends, I'm 36 now, and like my friends, I want to still hang about my friends like I used to in my 20s, but my friends have moved on, and like they're all grown up now, and they've got like wives and stuff, and so now what I've started doing is just turning up on their doorstep, because when I ring them and text them to come out, they don't want to come out, or they'll blank me, right? I turn up, but when I turn up on the doorstep, they let me in. They come on in, let's have a beer. We have a beer, and then he gets the taste. Like when you have a couple of beers, he's like, "Come on, let's go to the pub," and he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to tell my missus that I'm going to the pub," and this genuinely happens, which is why I wrote the bit. So he'll go to his missus. "Oh, babe, Pete wants to go to the pub," right? He puts it on me.
Blames you, yeah.
Yeah, blames me. Pete wants to go to the pub. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? No, you're right. Yeah, I've got work in the morning. You know what? Yeah, I'll tell him. And then he comes back to me. He's like, "Sorry, mate, not tonight." Right? And I'm like, "Come on, man. You used to love going to the pub. Like, what's changed? Like, why do you have to ask permission now to go out? Like, what's going on? Like, come on." And he goes, "Do you know what? You're right." I'm like, "Go back and tell her we're going to the pub." So he's like, "All right, I'll go and tell her," right? He goes, "You're right. I go out, I make some money for the house, and, I'm going to tell her." And he goes back, he's like, "Babe, I don't care what you say. I'm going out." Right? Oh, you want a divorce, do you? Fine, we'll get a divorce, right? Comes back to me, he's like, yeah, come on, we're going out. And I'm like, well, let me just check it's okay with my missus to go to the pub, right? So I get my missus on the phone, and I do the act out. I'm like, "Yo, Charlotte, Anthony wants to go to the pub." So I blame it on him now. Anthony wants to go to the pub. "No, darling, look, babe, calm down. Darling, he's going through a divorce."
Yeah.
Right? So that's the joke.
Nice.
Yeah,
But the whole journey there doesn't...
The way you had to
not
check with your
interesting.
missus, I really enjoyed that rhythm of you then having to check with your missus.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, I do. But it doesn't really get a big laugh. And then, and then at the end, I go to my mate, and then he goes to me. He turns around to me, goes, "Come on, mate. You used to always want to go out. Like, come on." He does the same thing I did to him. "Come on, mate. You want to go to..." And I'm like, he goes, "Come on, tell her we're going out." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm not going to take advice of someone who's going through a divorce."
Yeah.
Nice.
But it doesn't get a big laugh.
I'd definitely
It's kinda
stick
crap.
out. I'd definitely stick with that.
Why don't, in the build-up, do it in more of a... getting laughs out of recognition that this is a thing that happens?
But you know what I think the problem is? I think it doesn't work because, and this is me being honest, I feel the audience feels like my mate is in an abusive relationship.
Ah, interesting.
Oh, right.
But that's what Charlotte said to me when she's watched it. and not abusive. No, I'm obviously going to the extreme, but it's he's not allowed out. Controlling. And I think that might be what it is, that the audience gets a bit tense.
And also, are they saying that you're saying women, is that sort of, are they...
It's that the typical, you're not allowed out.
Yeah.
Which is not what I'm saying. It's just that specific.
Could you not... I can see that. I can see you doing it on stage. I can see you being light-hearted about it. I can see you sort of, running between the two. Like you're acting out your mate, talking to his wife, maybe, open up the door and leave
It's a farce, isn't it?
It's a farce, and then running across the other side of the stage
frantic
to talk back to you, to talk back to you to do it, and then you go, oh, actually, no, you're right, and then running across the stage, oh, actually, I am.
So rather than focusing on, it's depressing that she's
change the tone of it.
Yeah, maybe just sort of make the joke, the back and forward, and then you do loads of back and forward with him and his missus, and you've just about solved it. And you're like, well, I have got to check with my missus. Bang, big laugh. That feels like that should be where that is.
Because at the minute I do it a bit slow.
It's because you don't know it well enough, and you're not
I
confident
know,
in it.
And it's hard.
I reckon new material night where you don't really care.
Yeah.
And just really go into it and
frantically,
maybe frustrated. Like, it's so annoying when this happens. Like, this happened. She went there. Blah, blah, blah.
And also sometimes when I go, hold on, let me just check my missus.
You know what you could also do, and I get it. She's maybe from her point of view. I understand. But we still want to spend time with our friends.
The lead role in this is your mate, he's got two ears, two people on his shoulder. He's got you, and he's got his partner. So he's running between the two, and each time he's being convinced by them, going back to the other one, then being reconvinced, and it's that's, and then at the end, well, I'm not going to take advice off you because
yeah. I think stick with it, but I think don't stick it in. Because that's a big bit.
It is a big
I'd
bit.
say don't stick it in a club set where you care about, or not care about, you always care, but where it was you're earning money. Do it in a
sounds like it could be a closing
environment.
piece to me.
I like it, yeah.
And also, when things are about that, it's very universal, because I don't think we need to worry too much about that's what people think women are like. Relationships are always like that. Man, woman.
Yeah, I know. But this is what I mean about a lot of the... two of the jokes I've said today have been on the perception of the audience being like, are you trying... I see where you're going with that. You're trying to say this. But it's not about that. It's just perception.
I think in performance, you can direct them the other away from that.
Yeah.
With a bit of luck. But anyway, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Tell us about what your podcast is.
The podcast is Luke and Pete Talking Sheet.
Yeah, and also follow Pete on social media, because you'll get the clips from the podcast, and the clips are really funny. So
Stand Up Pete is
Stand Up Pete,
and the podcast Instagram is Luke and Pete.
There we go. Check it out.
When's this going out?
Your guess is as good as ours.
Would it be out before January the 18th?
No.
I'm Danny Ward.
That one.
Yeah, I'm Danny Ward, comedian, on your socials.
Yeah, at Jokes with Mark, and marksimmons.co.uk for tour shows. We are back on tour end of April until end of July. So go check those out. Anything more from you, Danny?
Nothing more from me, Mark. Anything more from you, Mark?
Nothing more from me, Danny. #Awooga, everybody.